Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much for joining me here. Hope you're having an amazing day. We're taking a look here at TRB, seeing what's going on with this coin. I got a lot of requests for this one, of course, and just want to kind of see what's going on, obviously, because it's one of those coins that's been taking off. It pulled back, and now it's ready to ramp back up and try to retest its most recent high. So we're going to look at some key levels here, kind of figure out what needs to happen next. We're going to look at some Fibonacci retracement levels too, and kind of gauge roughly where we're going to see some key level resistances as well. So if you are new to the channel, not a financial advisor, love to teach people trade. If you could help grow the community, we have a Discord, Twitter, and Telegram, all linked down below if you're interested. But we got some pretty cool, funny stuff here. Also, congrats to our premium members. I do offer trading signals community and obviously a wonderful trading academy. We have, 40% profit on a 5x leverage trade in 56 minutes. That was a trade we took yesterday with Frontier. And of course, took some profits from a previous trade there with Phoenix, roughly 20%. So again, we just like to be safe in this environment because when it comes to swing trading, it's not the best conditions for swing trading, of course, as you can kind of see with these massive candle wicks and candlesticks. So if you have lower leverage, lower position size, you have more survivability. So please keep that in mind. Lower leverage, lower position size is probably the most effective way to trade if you can in this environment. Okay, so speaking of TRB, let's go ahead and talk about if it's recommended to swing trade, day trade, or long versus short. Get that question quite a lot, as a matter of fact. And what we want to look at is a few things first. So we'll start with the daily, kind of go back a little bit here, and kind of just notice that this little resistance level I just drew out was also a previous resistance. We saw this level retested multiple times back in August, roughly about a month and a half ago. Okay, so actually, no, I'm sorry. That is 2022. That is a year ago. Okay, so close to a year ago, we saw these levels tested, and now we're retesting them again. Okay, so keep in mind, this little range here between 44, we can just round down and say 43 to 46, that range is going to be a point of contention. Okay, basically just implying we're going to see some resistance there, but once it breaks through, it'll probably continue. Okay, now it broke through before, of course, but it didn't sustain, all right? It didn't have enough volume to maintain that level. But if we continue to build a volume profile at this higher range, we're going to be able to see that, okay? For right now, there's not a tremendous amount of volume in this range. In fact, if we zoom out, kind of look at the previous data as well, we have the most amount of volume, obviously, at this lowest price point, about 15, and a very low amount of volume at $46. So it's still kind of a price discovery situation, okay? So for lack of better terms, we're in a position right now where we can expect the price action to continue to maintain the price, but also potentially retrace. Now, keep this in mind. We got this daily candlestick closure here roughly at this 0.786 Fibonacci level. So $43.60, this is an important level to break through. We close above that here today, there's a solid chance we could see a continuation. And main reason why too is because again, you see like 3 days here where the price action tested that level, couldn't break through, and it had to come back down. Therefore, if we break through this level here today, it'll likely become a new support level and continue higher. Okay, so there's that different type of philosophy. Now we want to look at Elliott wave theory on the 4-hour time frame too, kind of see if that tells us anything at all. Because that to me leads me to believe that we could be seeing a secondary top, but we'll double check here in a moment. So for the situation here at hand, what we want to look at specifically is the RSI. We're coming up to 70, getting close to that resistance. Money flow index is still high, so that's a very positive sign. So with more money flowing into this coin, we have sustainability, okay? Now today we have obviously a lot more volume than yesterday, but bottom line here is we're not quite above this moving average just yet. So we need to be able to sustain the price action above this level in order to be able to see the price do what it did previously, okay? So if we start seeing lower volume today or tomorrow, it would be a cause for concern. Now we have a MACD convergence on the daily, albeit not super strong. It is still a convergence nonetheless, letting us know continuation upwards makes more sense. We've also got this ascending trend here with a 20-day SMA, so we can go ahead and draw out somewhat of a trend line here, kind of based on these most recent lows. So you can see the price wicked down once, twice, 3 times, and didn't officially come down to retest there. So we're on the right side of tracks. This basically implies that the whole daily time frame is looking very, very bullish. Okay. So again, shorting into that is never the best idea, but again, there's overextension, different things we want to look into. That is what we want to see. So let's go ahead and take a look at the daily, the 4-hour time frame and work our way down. This is my favorite time frame for swing trading, of course, just because it gives us better indications of what's going on. The 200-day SMA is working concurrently with the trend line. Of course, it's a little bit further away, but still running parallel. Okay, and again, those are the kind of trend lines you want to pay attention to. So for right now, as long as we maintain above those trend lines, we're looking to be in pretty good shape. That said, let's go ahead and take a look here at the RSI. We're up over 70, but money flow index is high. this implies that we should be able to stay above that level for some time, and that shorting into this coin may be a bit of a concern. In other words, you may want to be careful of shorting. Wait until it at least tests its most recent high before you do that. So I would say a short around 48 makes a lot more sense than a short right now. Again, I know there's no guarantees there, but there's a lot of liquidity at this level here. We want to be mindful of the fact that there is more potential reality for that level to be tested first and then pull back than it is to pull back right now. So if you're a fan of 20x leverage or higher, you may want to consider waiting. Me personally, if I'm a 5x leverage trader, which I like to do, kind of stay in that range, I might consider an entry now and an entry at 49 to average my price point upwards. Okay, again, there's different strategies, of course, but really just depends on the type of trader you are. That being said, what we're looking at here is a situation where the 4-hour time frame also looks pretty bullish. Okay, we got a convergence of the MACD. RSI is very overextended, of course, but with that money flow index being high, it would make sense for the price to push even further. Like it's done before, it pushes it up here, it's overextended, and then continues higher. Look, we see a 9 here, pushes right up to another 7. We are pretty much just at 4. So we're looking at basically 16 hours of continuation. There's potential for 36 hours of continuation before it becomes overextended. So to me, I'm going to set like an alert here at this range so I can consider, getting in at the right time, maybe a better time for us, instead of jumping in too early. And no, again, it could totally pull back right now. I could be way off base and I could be way wrong. But, the probability here is fairly high that it's going to continue. Okay? Once again, we've established bullish continuation on pretty much all time frames. Look at the 1 hour though. This is where things get interesting because we got this previous liquidity that got filled. We do have some fair value gaps that are occurring. A smaller one there that was already filled. This most recent one partially filled. So it would make sense that with those little gaps being filled, the price can continue higher because the market movers took their profits. Okay, so that's kind of where we're at here so far on the hourly. Now you would say, okay, hey, we're totally overextended. I'm going to short into this. Yes, that's true, and it's a decent consideration. In fact, had you caught it right there initially, it would have worked out very well. I mean, that percent drop is roughly about 7-8%. But for right now, you may want to consider waiting. Now, again, I really, really hope the price goes down and proves me wrong because that's usually what it's supposed to do. Okay, but with everything else we've seen here so far, being a little more patient, I think, is more appropriate. Okay, once again, the cryptocurrency is full of missed opportunities. There's a good chance that we may not catch the right spot here. But hypothetically, wait a little bit longer, we'd probably have a much better entry. So I know what you're saying, though. Again, super overextended, it should pull back. It makes sense that it would. But again, sense isn't always made in cryptocurrency. Dollars and cents are, of course, if you're patient, but that's a different story. So let's look at the cloud here, kind of see, obviously, we're going to get confirmation that we're in good shape. So to me, what I'm going to be looking for is a retest of this upper range, about 46 to 48. If it comes into $46, I'm going to be considering an entry. And then, of course, you could get a little bit of skin in the game right now. There's no doubt that that could work out favorably. Just be mindful. There's a lot of money flowing to this coin. And with the money flow index being high and the amount of volume that we're seeing here, it would make sense for the price to be able to try to retest this level to just wick out a lot of short positions. Okay, it's a lot of times what happens is mostly manipulation that occurs in these situations here because it doesn't make a ton of sense. Like, why would it keep going up? Oftentimes it does when you don't expect it to. So just asking you exercise caution and be careful. Okay. So me, I got my alert set somewhere in the $48 range. That's where we're going to consider entry if we do. I'll take another look and reevaluate, but generally speaking, this coin is looking primed and ready to rock and roll. So I think a short would be more appropriate at a higher price point because it just has a tremendous amount of volume and momentum at this point where just shorting right into it is not always the most ideal. Okay. All right, I hope that makes sense and I described that correctly. I'm sorry if I didn't explain everything correctly, but in truth, this is one of those funky situations where it's sometimes better just to wait. That's my personal opinion. All right, so what are your thoughts? Comment below, let me know. Jump on over to Telegram, Twitter, Discord. Help grow the community and be part of something bigger too, right? We got some awesome profits coming through there with our premium group, and obviously a lot of fun stuff here with our groups here. We all like to have a good time. So thanks again so much for joining me here and making my life a better place, and I look forward to working with you. Have a great rest of your day. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.